My mother-in-law seems a little too attached to my baby. I'll never forget the sheer, unadulterated terror that gripped me that day, the day I realized my own mother-in-law might be planning to steal my child. How could the woman who held my husband as a baby, the woman who should have been a source of support and love, become the architect of my worst nightmare? I'm Gwen, I'm 26, and my life has been a whirlwind since my son, Heath, was born. Before Heath, I was just the youngest in my family, used to being coddled. But the moment I heard Heath's first cry in that sterile hospital room, everything shifted. My husband and I were instantly consumed with love and a fierce protectiveness. We wanted to dedicate our entire lives to him. That's what parents do, right? But fate had other plans for us. Or more accurately, fate introduced us to Tricia, my husband's mother, newly divorced again and seemingly adrift. Tricia needed a place to stay, and we, perhaps foolishly, opened our doors. This was her second divorce. The first was with my husband's dad, and then, after I married Hugh, another child appeared. But the marriage fell apart again. Tricia lost custody, deemed unfit due to her fragile mental state. When we brought baby Heath home from the hospital, she was constantly around, just staring at him for hours. At first, I was grateful for the extra set of hands. She seemed genuinely excited when we told her we'd named him Heath, and honestly, she had more experience with babies than I did. I'd smile at Hugh, thinking how lucky we were. We watched as she played with Heath, but then he started to cry. Instinctively, I thought he was hungry and asked for him back. Tricia brushed me off, insisting he just wanted attention. She kept jostling him, even as his cries grew louder and more desperate. I remember looking at my husband for help, a silent plea in my eyes. He gently suggested Tricia let me take him. That was the first time a seed of unease was planted in my mind. I managed to pull Heath away, but even then, she seemed reluctant to let go. And that was just the beginning of what I can only describe as deeply unsettling behavior. She would play with Heath even when he was sleeping, practically shoving toys in his face, waking him up after I'd finally managed to soothe him. And she never took responsibility for his crying. She would just lay him back in the cradle and walk away, as if he'd magically stop on his own. But whenever I brought my concerns up, she would dismiss me out of hand. Trish continued to ignore Heath's needs, treating him like a doll, someone to play with when it suited her. I finally decided to talk to Hugh, but he became instantly defensive, irritated by my concerns about his mom. He hadn't witnessed much of her behavior, being stuck at work all day while I was on unpaid maternity leave. I had used up my 12 weeks of paid leave. He had to work overtime and barely got time at home. Can't you just try to get along with my mom, Gwen? He pleaded. She's been through so much lately. That's probably why she wants to bond with Heath. I do get along with her, Hugh, I snapped, as long as she's not acting weird around our baby. Do you know that last night I woke up to her just staring at him? It was terrifying. I did, my voice trembling. She said she wanted to play with him, but did it because she knew I wouldn't be okay with it. She was just standing there, looking. It was scary. Hugh, he just sighed and said, I know she can be a bit strange. She's easygoing like that and soft-hearted, just like you. He tried to reassure me, but my anxiety only intensified. I was working as a barista at a local cafe, and I wasn't sure how long I could stay off work. At first, I actually entertained the idea of letting Tricia watch Heath when I returned to work. But now I shuddered at the thought. The other day, I was trying to get Heath to sleep when I heard loud noises from my room. I peeked in and saw Trish stomping around. Do you think I should talk to my lawyer again? She asked out of the blue. Talk to your lawyer? About what? I asked, genuinely confused. About my baby, like the one you have. I think I can get her back if I try really hard. Maybe I can file a lawsuit against Tony and prove he's not a reliable person for her to grow up with. She rambled, referring to Tony, who had custody of their child. I honestly felt sorry for her. She was clearly spiraling, but I had to try to bring her back to reality. Trish, that's a long shot. Even if you prove Tony can't raise the child, you won't get her back. They'll likely say both parents are unfit, and she will go into the foster care system until she turns 18. Her response sent a chill down my spine. But then I can adopt her as soon as she's put up for adoption. You can keep Heath, and I'll get my baby. Everyone will be happy. Playing Trish, I said sternly. Trish, no offense, but you're starting to sound like you're losing your mind. You need to relax and let go of this. You need help, I added gently. Her eyes narrowed. Are you calling me crazy? The mother of your husband? Do you know what I've done to raise him? The sacrifices I've made, and now you want to take this baby away from me. He's my baby too. That's when I was completely speechless. Since when are we talking about me and your son? If you want your child back, the only way is to be real and legal. Maybe you should get some help and then prove you can have joint custody, I said, trying to be reasonable. She exploded. Don't lecture me. You're just a booster who caught my son's eye. You're no one and you won't make a good mom. Not like me anyway. Hugh said I said to her, where are you going with all this? That hurt a lot. This is how you treat me. I'm sorry life hasn't been great for you, but lashing out at me won't help, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. Shut up, I'm leaving. I was scared then, terrified that Trish might hurt me or even Heath. Thankfully, she just stormed out. Losing custody of her child had clearly shattered her, and things were only getting worse. And unbelievably, Hugh still didn't listen to me. When I told him what happened, he got mad at me for letting Trish live on her own. When she wasn't thinking straight, he refused to believe me when I told him she was fixated on the baby thing. Later that evening, Trish returned home, claiming she'd been sitting on a park bench all day, even though it had only been a few hours since she'd left. She offered a quick, insincere apology and then went to take a nap in my room. Later, she asked if she could help put Heath to sleep, but I was beyond cautious this time. There was no way I was letting her near my baby without supervision. Things didn't get easier after that. There came a point where I knew I'd need to ask Trish to leave for good. Things really took a dark turn one day, and we were both caring for a sleeping Heath. How much does it cost to take care of a baby these days, Trish asked, trying to sound casual. Maybe around $100 a month if you're lucky, and even more when the baby starts crawling or walking. I replied, genuinely wondering. If you have something on your mind, you can tell me, I added. Oh, nothing, she replied, but her eyes held a strange intensity. It didn't used to be so expensive back when I had Hugh, but I'd still have the baby. No hesitation. Yes, I'd be willing to give up anything for our baby, Trish said, her voice a little too sweet. Our baby. The way she said it sent shivers down my spine. Trish started going out regularly every evening around 5 o'clock, all dressed up, with her purse. There was no way she started dating again at her age, so I assumed she was just going for walks. Honestly, we were even supportive of her trying to feel better. I was relieved that you seemed to be feeling better and more like herself. I even considered leaving Heath with her when I went back to work soon. But then one day, I overheard her while she was playing with him in the living room. I've been exhausted from taking care of him all day and was trying to drift off to sleep. A while later, I heard he's crying, which woke me up. As soon as I got up, he became quiet. Then I heard Trish say, "That's a good boy, that's a good baby. You're mine, okay? You're my baby, and mum is going to take real good care of you. We're going to fly away to a nice place where you'll have lots of toys to play with. Don't you want that?" I wondered how much of what she said was serious and how much was just play. She had definitely managed to calm Heath down. When I got to my senses, the cradle wasn't very heavy, but it was odd that she moved it without waking me up. When I walked into the living room, my heart skipped a beat. The cradle had been modified. It looked pretty. I quickly picked Heath up. "What are you doing, Trish?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. "He's enjoying it," Trish said, a little too casually. "Trish, where did you get these Christmas balls from?" I asked, pointing to the heavy glass ornaments now hanging on the crib. "I found them in your store. I thought he'd enjoy them." "Trish, those are really heavy. They may not seem dangerous to us, but for the baby they are. How did you tie them up that they could fall on him any moment?" "Hey, what's with all the accusations? I got the baby to be quiet and you're still not happy with me." "Trish, I appreciate that you got him to be quiet. I really do. I'm so happy you're getting along with him. But these balls are dangerous. The old plastic toy on the cradle wouldn't hurt him if it ever fell." "How did you even get it down? I thought it was attached to. I ripped it off. Didn't take much. I think this looks so much prettier. I don't see the problem." "I understand, but please let's take it off, okay?" Trish made a face but pulled the Christmas balls down. As soon as she touched them, 2 of them fell straight into the cradle and left dents in the bedding. That could have been where my child was lying. I saw that her intentions were good. She left the living room and ran into my room to sleep. Every morning she'd go out and not come back for hours. Whenever I asked where she was going, she just said the post office. Trish kept saying she was going to the post office, but it was too far for her to be gone all day, and she smiled at me in a weird way. I was getting uncomfortable. "She's trying to get better. Why aren't you being supportive?" he said, but she still acts strangely around Heath. She keeps telling him he's her baby and says her own name over and over, so he'll say it first. "You know about the Christmas balls incident and I'm really concerned. You're overthinking this. She's taking care of our baby. Yes, the Christmas balls were a mistake and you need to help her get to the post office." "Hugh, she's obviously not going to the post office every day. Why would she? Because she used to work there and his friends there. Maybe she got a part-time job, then why wouldn't she?" "Tell us about it." "I don't know, okay? Just relax and stop keeping an eye on my mom. There's no need to accuse her." That was it. I lost it. He refused to believe me no matter what I said. With my return to work approaching, I decided to take matters into my own hand. I bought a baby monitor and secretly installed it on the wall so no one would notice it. When I started working again, Trish stayed home on most days. Everything seemed normal. She'd take you to play and then put him back to sleep. Since I was only working part-time, I was always home before it got too late. But one day I heard something on the baby monitor that made my heart sing. "Oh, we're going to fly away, you and Mama. Mama has been working so hard at school, teaching little kids like you'll be someday. Oh, Mama has so many plans once she runs away with you." I heard Heath giggle as she picked him up and spun around the room. "My baby, oh, little baby, do you like spinning? Do you like it? Of course you do. We're going to go far away from your little cradle. I'll get you a new one with big, shiny balls on it. Yes, we will." What was going on? I was horrified. She continued spinning around the room with Heath But when she finally sat down, he started crying, thinking he might fall. You keep crying and I'm not giving you any more attention. In my house, you'll learn discipline from the get-go. Children these days, I swear to God, she said and slammed the door. I was deeply concerned. I recorded the footage and considered sending it to you, but I wanted to make sure I wasn't overreacting. That day I went home merely worried about my child. Tricia opened the door looking worn out and tired. She went straight to sleep without saying a word. I rushed to my room, quickly fed Heath. Once he was asleep, I locked the room from the inside and started searching. Trish always carried a big red purse whenever she went out and I needed to find it. After searching my room for almost an hour, I found nothing. Then I noticed it hanging from the coat rack. I grabbed it as quietly as possible and when I looked inside, I was devastated. She had a teacher's ID card for a school and a plane ticket scheduled for the day after tomorrow. She had been planning to run away with my child. I kept the ticket and ID card to myself and sent the video to you asking him to come home soon as possible. This can't be real, for God's sake, you still think I'm overreacting. I asked when he saw the footage and held the ticket and ID card in his hand. He was speechless. He realized Tricia had been working for months to arrange all this. She clearly needed help. We decided to call Hugh's dad, Jonah. Jonah quickly picked up the call. When you told him what was happening, Jonah was saddened but agreed that Trish needed to be removed from the house. He suggested we consider a retirement home for her. Do you think she should go to a retirement home? That's what I do, but I think she needs psychiatric care first, Jonah replied. You want her out of the house? For good, you confirm? Yes, please, I said. Okay, I'll come over to talk to her in person. Let's get started. Jonah agreed. Jonah had been around when he was born. Hugh and Jonah talked to Trish and there was a lot of crying and yelling. He's my baby, no, he's my son. Trish, you need to get out of here before we have to forcefully remove you. Oh, I'd like to see you try. Trish shocked. By then I lost my patience. Trish had done so much to upset me that I wanted her out of our lives for good. You will never set foot in this house again. Just go away and keep your hands off my son. Enough, both of you, Jonah intervened. Mom, please don't make this complicated. Come with us. The fighting continued for a while, but I finally decided to let her go into a retirement home for good. The people at the nursing home said they provide her with some psychological help as well. I didn't care anymore. Maybe I went too far in my anger, but it was unnecessary. Looking back, I still question everything. Did I overreact? Was there another way to handle Tricia's obsession? Did I fail her in some way? It's been months since she was moved to the retirement home, and while Heath is safe and thriving, the guilt and uncertainty linger. Knowing what you now know, do you think I made the right decisions? What would you have done differently?